the ear off of the referees, and normally the fouls go the other way. Although you really can't complain about too many of the decisions here. Ronigan against Edwards, can't finish. Edwards the block, and then Ronigan came over the shoulder, no call. Geary nearly stolen away by Houlihan. Double team comes from McCarron, unable to trap her, and now we've got the reach in on Houlihan, and that's the easy call. As you see Dartmouth fans upset about it, but when the foul calls are like that, you almost always see the referees look up, notice it, and immediately give one back, as that's the third on Houlihan. So we'll see Exman check into the game. Houlihan with 3, Ronigan, Kane also with 3, and 4 on Exman. Matthew to inbound with Houlihan in front of her. Rivera coming to the ball. Geary, Murphy, and Edwards, the other 3 Beacons, as they trail by 4 with 6 minutes and 40 seconds left. Matthew already with 4 threes in the corner, being guarded by Houlihan up top for Geary. Let's see what she can do, working on McCarron. Geary with 17 on the shot clock, down low for Murphy. Murphy triple teamed. Houlihan is there, and she's able to get it to Castantini. Loose ball, Edwards, Exman, and we've got a tie up, and it'll go back to Dartmouth. UMass Boston cannot get out of their own way on the offensive end. Telegraphed quite a few passes over the last couple possessions. It's led to UMass Dartmouth grabbing this 4-point lead. Got a stoppage. As they never changed the possession arrow, and it will go back to the Beacons. Possession arrow at the table was showing UMass Dartmouth's ball, but they realized they never changed it. So that's a Beacons break, although a correct one. Burston looking to find Jordan. Jordan's had a quiet day. Up top for Geary. Geary thought about the 3. McCarron got there in time. Geary dribbling with Murphy offering a pick. Now it's Jordan with 20 on the shot clock. Jordan looking to drive, tries to leave it for Murphy, bounces it off Exman. Murphy the turnaround, no good. Edwards fighting in there with 3 Corsairs. Tapped out of bounds off the hand of a Beacon, as Murphy and Edwards were both around Houlihan. 6:02 to go, plenty of time left as the Beacons look for their 4th straight win here at home against the Corsairs and their 4th consecutive win against UMass Dartmouth. On the other side, UMass Dartmouth looking for their 4th straight road conference win. Castantini a step back 3, feeling it right now. She's got 2 in the quarter, and the Corsairs had their largest lead of the half at 7. They led by 12 early in the second. The Beacons came back, and it's their largest lead of the half by far. Geary looking for Murphy. Great cut, and Murphy the easy finish to go over 1,500 for her career. 1,501 points for Olivia Murphy, closing in on 1,100 rebounds as well, as she's over 1,085 at the moment. But still a 5-point deficit as Murphy looks to improve her playoff spot. And an offensive foul the other way, that's 5 on Exman. I didn't see it, but the referee immediately pointing her way, and that's a tough break for Dartmouth, as Exman did not make much of an impact in this one compared to what she's capable of. It's really too bad. Exman unable to play the first game against UMass Boston, missed 5 straight, and then constant foul trouble today. I got to see her at high school, Greater New Bedford, a terrific player, but she'll have to wait to make an impact against UMass Boston till next year, most likely. Be very improbable to see these teams in the playoffs. Murphy saves it right to McCabe. That ball might have been going out of bounds off of UMass Dartmouth. And now Geary tries to steal it away from Houlihan. Houlihan splits the double team, tries to go the whole way, kicks out. Castantini, another 3. Buckets! Beth Castantini with 3 in the quarter. She's got at least 18 for the game, and it's an 8-point Corsairs advantage. Plenty of time left, but the Beacons costing themselves points on the past couple possessions. Burston thinks about a 3. There's the answer. Big basket from Tajay Burston, who rarely shoots the ball with that much time left on the shot clock, but a big, big time basket from Tajay Burston. Houlihan pulls up, leaves it for McCarron, right back to Houlihan. Wide open, McCabe looking for another 3. Can't finish. Ronigan the rebound amongst 2 Beacons, and the easy putback to push the lead back out to 7. 69-62. Under 4 minutes to play. Pass down low for Murphy. Immediately triple team, needs help. Burston thinking about another head fake to the far side for Jordan. As 2 players down. Burston ran into Ronigan. who appears to be wincing in pain. And Ronigan is in a lot of pain there. It looks like it could be a knee injury. That is not good news. Megan Ronigan, the top scorer in the conference, the top player on UMass Dartmouth, and the reigning Little East Conference Rookie of the Year. Let's hope it's just cramps. She's being attended to the Dartmouth trainer, and looks like she's at least laughing a little bit. We're going to take a stoppage right now, as this is not good news for either side. Ronigan in a ton of pain.
I did receive a non-athletic scholarship upon entering school.
I got the presidential scholarship, which was huge for me.
I think there's more opportunities for academic scholarships in Division III.
I did receive academic scholarships. Just being involved on campus, being a leader, all those things combined kind of get me recognized. It's a great experience for me.
What separates UMass Boston from other schools is the fact that a large percentage of students commute. For me, it takes 2 hours each day to go to and from school, but every second has been worth it because the students that come here are serious about learning, they value their education, and understand where it'll take them in the future. This is what UMass Boston means to me.
You see there Megan Ronigan, the top scorer in the Little East Conference. It is cramps, so that's the good news, but they're very bad cramps, so she's going to be helped off by the trainer and head coach Matt Ducharme, as she is in a ton of pain right now, and she's actually going to have to be carried off. So the good news is that Megan should be fine going forward. The bad news is that Ronigan, with the kind of cramps she's experienced right now, might not be back with just 3:45 left, as Ronigan's going to be helped over to the scorer's table. And we're going to have a media timeout, so that'll give her a little bit more time. And we'll take a look at some of the highlights thus far, as Beth Castantini has been a menace here in quarter number 4. See, early on, Murphy leaving it for Edwards. One bounce. That was a great pass from Olivia Murphy, who's really an underrated passer. She can do it all, amongst the Beacons program record holders in points, rebounds, and blocks. A great feed there from Matthew to Rivera, but then it turned all UMass Dartmouth's way. Castantini, wide open triple. She's hit 3 in the quarter, and pretty much all of them have been wide open. Castantini, as Jordan tried to go under the screen, Edwards not there in time. That's her second of 3. And then Burston the answer right after the Castantini 3. As that took us to this point, 69-62 in favor of Dartmouth. They had the possession arrow their way. 3:45 to play. The Beacons with 14 fouls already. UMass Dartmouth with 2. For the Beacons, 14 points from Olivia Murphy, along with 12 rebounds. 11 from Grace Geary, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. 12 from Matthew, 6 and 10 from Katrina Edwards. On the other side, 23 points from Beth Castantini, 4 of 5 from distance with 7 rebounds. Ronigan with 14 and 6, although she's continued to be worked on right now. And Colleen Kane, the third player in double digits, with 11. Alicia Coutil back into the game for Dartmouth as she replaces Ronigan. She's out there with McCarron, Castantini, Houlihan, and McCabe. For the Beacons, it's Burston, Kelsey out there with 4 fouls, Murphy, Matthew, and Geary. Tons of time left as the Beacons look for another comeback. Great backdoor feed, and she's swatted away. Castantini meet Grace Geary. Geary blocked that one with authority, and that saved 2 points for UMass Boston. McCarron up top for Castantini, can't be given space. Pulls up, 15 on the shot clock, out top for Houlihan. Really nice sophomore point guard for Dartmouth. The runner, no good, and Kelsey finds Burston. Matthew ahead of the pack. Burston will take it herself. Burston over to Matthew, finds Kelsey. 3 is up well off the mark front rim, and it falls to McCarron. You can tell that one was off the entire way as Kelsey put it wide right. Dartmouth trying to kill off a little bit of clock. Already 10 seconds gone on the shot clock. Houlihan looking for McCarron. As Ronigan is back up, she'll sit at the end of the bench, waiting to check back in. McCarron back out for Castantini, down to 9 on the shot clock. Castantini with Matthew all over her, and the ball's thrown away into the Dartmouth bench. Back-to-back empty possessions for Dartmouth. Can the Beacons make an answer? Matthew Sharm was really frustrated on that occasion. And now it'll be Kelsey to inbound for the Beacons as Coutil will take a seat. The Beacons certainly do not need threes at this point. They just need baskets and stops. As McCabe all over Murphy, no call. Kelsey stepping back. Geary trying to get open. McCarron doing a good job on her. Matthew thought about the three, finds Geary on the block. Geary, one dribble to the left hand, no good. Geary gets the rebound, puts it up again, she's blocked. Ronigan had the rebound, and now Geary is going to be called for punching it out. Her fourth, the fifth on the Beacons, and it will lead to 2 free throws. Geary thought she had all ball, and now Ronigan, one of the most consistent free throw shooters in the conference, will head to the line. Ronigan on the season, 78.8% from the free throw line, good for 3rd best in the conference. You don't normally see big shooting close to 80%, but she's a tremendous talent. Junior forward out of North Attleboro, Rookie of the Year 2 years ago, Player of the Year last year, and she's put up even better numbers as a junior. Be interesting to see if she earns Player of the Year honors. You could certainly make a case for Jill Rytrowski, who's averaging a double-double at Eastern Connecticut State, who was leading big at half. If Keene State were to make a comeback, you could argue for Stephanie Dinolfo, who does it all for the Owls, who sit at 21-3. And Olivia Murphy, if they could finish in the top 4, you can make an argument as well. Geary thought about the three. McCarron providing great defense. Tries to find Murphy double teamed. It's out of bounds off the Corsairs. But the Beacon's so predictable right now between Geary and Murphy. Someone else is going to step up. At least going to have to. 2:12 left, 15 on the shot clock. Burston on the inbound, looking for Geary. Geary, the three from the NCAA line, well short. Castantini the rebound. 2 Corsairs out in front. It's McCabe. McCabe will pull it back out. Matthew Sharp can't believe it. That's a decent play if you're trying to kill clock, but she gave up 2 easy points. McCabe, probably the one non-big-time scorer out there right now, as it's Castantini in for Ronigan. Ronigan looking to turn. Matthew tried to get the tie-up, no call, and Ronigan pulls out of it and knocks it down. It's an 11-point lead with under 2 minutes to play. Geary in the corner. Up top for Burston. The Beacons need points. As Burston goes the entire way, and one! Big play from the smallest player out there. As Tajay now has 5 points in the corner, and we'll see Edwards and Jordan out there. A little bit of defense for offense substitutions. The Beacons are going to need some stops right away. Matthew and Murphy will take a seat, as Murphy's definitely winded. Big free throw coming from Burston. Tajay on the season, 19 of 32 from the free throw line. Beacon's deficit is 9. Can't finish, and Ronigan has it stripped away by Kelsey. Big play there. Jordan over to Burston, now Geary. Minute 30 to play, the Beacon's deficit is 9. Geary to the near side for Kelsey, being guarded closely by Castantini, gets around her, pulls up from 4 feet, and it falls. The Beacons with a nice 4-point possession. They need a stop right here. Castantini, double team, dribbles out of it, tries to find a player. Burston nearly had it, not quite enough on the reach. Ahead, and McCarron can't find it, and it's another turnover. Still a 7-point deficit with 1:07 to go, but the Beacons feeling like they have a little bit of life here as we get a timeout from the Dartmouth bench. It'll be a media timeout or a full timeout, and we'll take a stoppage along with the teams. The Beacons looking for a desperate comeback here in the final 67 ticks.
The University of Massachusetts Boston, with its scenic oceanfront campus, easily accessible to downtown Boston, is recognized as a model of excellence for urban public universities. 16 NCAA Division III sports are part of the more than 100 student organizations that create an engaging campus life in America's biggest and best college town. UMass Boston, Boston's urban public research university for the 21st century.
Welcome back. The Beacons with a little 4-0 run to cut it to 7. It'll be UMass Boston ball underneath the UMass Dartmouth basket. The Beacons still with a chance here, but Beacons need to do a better job handling the ball. Too many turnovers here, too many 4 shots down low. See if they can get a good 3-point look. For the Beacons, it'll be Matthew, Burston, Geary, Kelsey, and Edwards. with Murphy sitting out at least for the moment. On the other side, it'll be McCabe, McCarron, Castantini, Houlihan, and Ronigan. I cannot say enough about the play of McCarron and McCabe. Two players who come off the bench. They're not the big-time scorers. They don't put up a ton of stats, but McCarron and McCabe have done a great job defensively, coming away with some steals, playing good defense, getting some rebounds, especially McCarron, who has been charged with guarding Geary, and she's done a good job. McCarron's going to play her the full 94 feet. Just 3 team fouls on Dartmouth, so they can afford to give up a foul, and it won't lead to free throws. Geary around a Kelsey screen, over to Matthew. Matthew, step back three, looking for her fifth, way off the mark, wide left, and it's out of bounds. Beacons may have forced that a little bit. This will be Jordan checking in for Matthew. Jordan, their defensive stoppers. It'll be Geary heading forward as the ball hawk. Geary and Burston in half court. Edwards guarding the ball. Jordan and Kelsey in there. Houlihan trying to get around a double team. Ahead, wide open Castantini. Instead, McCabe's going to try to dribble it. Nearly lost it. Ahead for McCarron, and Kelsey gives up the foul. Her fifth, team sixth. And it'll be 2 free throws upcoming as McCabe nearly dribbled her way right into a double team. So 2 free throws upcoming for McCarron. Matthew in there for Kelsey. McCarron has a chance to extend this lead even further as her first one easily falls. Karen, the junior out of Groton, Massachusetts. Now 6 of 14 from the free throw line. Cordero and Ronigan, the lone 2 Corsairs in there rebounding. The Beacons with 4 players, everyone but Geary. Ronigan got inside position, but McCarron hit it nonetheless. 9-point deficit, Bursting being guarded by Cordero, and it's out of bounds off Cordero. Beth Castantini's threes in this quarter may prove to be the difference. Just backbreakers, each and every one of them. Ronigan's also had a big quarter as well after having just 4 points in the first half. Geary looking to go to work, knocks this one down, but there's just 35.5 seconds to the 7-point deficit. The Beacons need another turnover. McCarron throws it right into the hands of Edwards. Now Burston rips it away, trying to leave it for a Beacon. It's out of bounds, and it'll be off of the Corsairs as the Beacons almost had a wide open look down low for Matthew. Instead, fortunate that it went out of bounds off of UMass Dartmouth. 7-point deficit with 29 seconds left. The Beacons don't need a 3, but they certainly need an immediate basket. Can't afford this clock to continue to run. Bursting on the inbounds. Matthew goes one way, Geary the other. Geary will take the running 3. Off the top of the backboard, no good. And the Beacons have gotten 2 looks in the past couple of seconds. Geary and Matthew both well off the mark. In Geary's defense, she was still running when she heaved that one up, but tough break there for UMass Boston. We'll get a Dartmouth timeout. Just a 30-second one. We'll stay here. Remember, folks, we've got the men's game coming up about 20 minutes after the conclusion of the women's game. Chance to see one of the top players in all of Division III play for the final time here at the Clark Athletic Center Gymnasium. Jordan Resendez, averaging 30 points per game, tied for first in the nation. 6+ assists per game, third in the nation. He's also one of the best shooters in the nation in free throws and three-pointers. He's the absolute real deal. As Resendez will look to lead the Corsairs past UMass Boston. The first matchup was very close. Just a 6-point Corsairs win. Castantini content to hold on to the ball. The Beacons not trying to give the foul. Jordan provides the pressure. Jordan will give it up. Chance for Castantini to tack onto this lead and to tack onto her very impressive performance. Beth came into this one averaging 12.9 points per game, good for 7 in the conference. She's already got 23, perfect 3 for 3 from the free throw line, make it 4 of 4. 8 of 13 from the field, 4 of 5 from distance, and 8 rebounds. There's your difference maker right there. 18 from Ronigan, who always finds a way to get hers. 14 here in the second half as Castantini knocks down his second for the Beacons. 14 and 12 from Murphy, as UMass Boston will call a timeout with 18 and a half seconds left. 13 from Geary with 7 rebounds and 4 assists. 12 from Matthew and 6 points and 10 rebounds for Edwards in what looks like is going to be a losing effort. UMass Boston will stay at home. They'll take on Eastern Connecticut State, as you see some highlights here from the quarter. That'll be Saturday at 1 as the Beacons will host Eastern Connecticut State on Senior Day. UMass Dartmouth will be home as well on Saturdays. They host Southern Maine on Senior Day. If the Corsairs hold on, these two teams will be tied at 7 and 6. UMass Dartmouth would hold the tiebreaker if both teams have the same result on Saturday by way of their win over Eastern Connecticut State. These two teams battling for 5th/6th place, as Southern Maine is well on their way to clinching the 4 seed, if not the 3rd. These two teams likely will end up playing either Western Connecticut State or Southern Maine. The Beacons would prefer Southern Maine, as they've already won against the Huskies in Gorham. On the other side, they were swept by Western Connecticut State. UMass Dartmouth lost at Western Connecticut State. Well, they actually were swept as well. And then against Southern Maine, they went 1 of 2. Well, actually 1 for 1 thus far, as the ball is tapped out off the Beacons after another missed 3. And UMass Dartmouth will have a chance to dribble out the clock here, as we're going to get one final timeout. The Beacons were showing full court pressure. 10.7 ticks left. UMass Boston trailing by 9 in what was a very exciting game. We were tied 53-53 at the end of the third, but Dartmouth able to knock down a couple threes, get some big play down low from Ronigan, who suffered cramps badly at one point, but came back and has made some more baskets. It's a big win for Dartmouth. It would be their 2nd in a row. They've struggled to put wins together after starting the year 7-0. Since then, they're just 8-8. Would be 9-8 with this win. Castantini, Fittley has it. Over to Kane. Houlihan, 4 seconds left. Castantini, Houlihan with 2. And that'll do it. UMass Dartmouth outscores UMass Boston 24-15 in the 4th quarter to earn a big win and to move into a tie for 6th place, or rather for 5th place here in the Little East Conference. We're going to take a break. We'll head down court level to have an interview with head coach Christina Ball, and then we'll close it out with highlights and the final stats here from the Clark Athletic Center Gymnasium.
Dear Lord, we ask you today to keep us safe from injury, to let us play to the best of our ability. We ask you to give us the strength of our loved ones who have passed and cannot be here with us today. And lastly, we ask you to give us the determination, the desire, and the heart to battle for 60 minutes, as we represent the man to the left and to the right of us. We are a single unit, we are a family, we are the University of Massachusetts Boston.
So I need you to be positive with them, and I need you to be positive and you to be positive with them.
I don't know what to say, really. 3 minutes to the biggest battle of our professional lives. All comes down to today. Either we heal as a team.
joined courtside by head coach Christina Baugh. Coach, a tough loss. You got them at their place. They get you right back. Beth Castantini, a big game. How backbreaking were those 3 threes in the fourth quarter? They hit just one in the first half and finally able to knock some down in the fourth.
Yeah, the threes kind of changed the momentum of the game. But I'm happy how we fought back, but we dug ourselves a little hole to start in that first quarter. We'll end up showing up on the stats.
You know that you're probably going to end up 5th or 6th. Obviously, you'd probably prefer Southern Maine because you know that you can compete with them. 2 close games. Westcott a little bit further away in those 2 games. What's the biggest takeaway on Saturday? Do you need a win Saturday, or is it taking another step further towards getting ready for the tournament?
We just got to play 40 minutes. That's when we do that, we won 4 in a row because we did that. We were ready from start to finish. So that's all I'm concerned about on Saturday. I think the rest takes care of itself, win or lose.
Thanks so much for your time, Coach. The Beacons will be back in action on Saturday, 1 p.m. as they'll host Eastern Connecticut State on Senior Day. First, though, let's take a look at the highlights and then the final statistics from this one as we wrap it up here in Beaconville. Kick it out for Matthew, wide open triple, falls, and the Beacon player without multiple fouls. She has 1. Matthew looking for another 3, nothing but net, and the guard finds Murphy, spins towards the basket, pulls it up. Murphy can't finish, taps it over to Edwards, and 1. The mismatch there, point guard on big, and a nice job by Holohan, draws the contact and 1 the other way. But went up for the block and called for it. Ronigan over Murphy, and Burston looking for Murphy, floats it up there. Murphy turns, foul in the basket. Big Geary, a little bit of space. Rivera chucks up the 3, drains it, and we played some good defense. Matthew looking for Murphy. Murphy double teamed. Edwards 1 dribble, finishes with a left hand of the beat. Ball falls to Geary. Geary, the football pass ahead for Matthew. Matthew looking for Rivera. Rivera jump stop, finishes. Ronigan being guarded by Edwards into the corner from McCabe. Finds the trailer. Castantini wide open, and it's just Smith looking for their 4th straight road conference win. Castantini a step back 3, feeling it themselves. Points on the past couple possessions. Burston thinks about a 3. There's the answer.
I don't know what to say, really. 3 minutes to the biggest battle of our professional lives. All comes down to today. Either we heal as a team, or we're gonna crumble. Inch by inch, play by play, till we're finished. We're in hell right now.
UMass Boston was my first choice because when I came to the campus, I saw that there was a lot of diversity, there's a lot of people. Here there's a lot of international students, so it's really cool to meet people from different countries, different parts of the world. I'm Julia Murphy, I'm from Canton, Massachusetts.
I'm Olivia Murphy, I'm from Canton, Massachusetts.
We're sisters.
We're sisters.
I play volleyball and she plays basketball. Here they have a freshman success community. So each major has their own community that you can join as a freshman, and you take classes with them, you do study groups with them. So it was really helpful getting to know people in your major right away.
So in health exercise sciences, we have an internship at the end, so it's so much better to have like an advisor helping you out, like telling you which classes to choose.
Paris changed my life, and I got there through UMass. Those very specific seminal moments in Paris, the subway, a man in a tuxedo walked in and a woman in a long gown. And it was stunning. It all hit me. It was like a lightning bolt. There was this world of beauty and style that I wanted to be a part of. That was the beginning of the journey. And that all came through the University of Massachusetts. And that was really a key moment for me. That's one of those moments you never forget.
Come on, Jake.
As usual, she wins it. A chance in front. Her shot is in the net. Crystal Layden. Yet another goal.
Please make a gift to the Beacon Athletic Fund today. We want you on our team.
The University of Massachusetts Boston, with its scenic oceanfront campus, easily accessible to downtown Boston, is recognized as a model of excellence for urban public universities. 16 NCAA Division III sports are part.
And welcome back here to the Clark Athletic Center Gymnasium. We've got the final team stats and final player stats from this one. UMass Dartmouth outscoring the Beacons 24-15 in that fourth quarter to pull away for a 77-68 win, almost identical to the first game in which the Beacons earned a 78-67 win. Take a look right now at the team statistics. As pull those up for you. UMass Boston just did not shoot well all game long. 22% in the first half. They brought it all the way up to 33%, 23 of 69. Dartmouth at 39.4%, 26 of 66. Dartmouth finishing 4 of 12 from 3, but they hit all four of their threes in that third and fourth quarter. The Beacons 8 of 22 from distance, 14 of 26 from the free throw line. Really disappointing finish there. On the other side, Dartmouth 21 of 28, 75%. So we take a look right now at the team leaders. Beth Castantini, she's the real story. A huge game, 8 of 13 from the field, 4 of 5 from distance, 5 of 5 from the free throw line, to go along with her 8 rebounds, 3 steals, and 1 assist. Megan Ronigan had 18 points and 7 rebounds, 11 for Colleen Kane for the Beacons. Olivia Murphy over the 1,500-point mark for her career, 1,501 to be exact, 14 points and 12 rebounds. Grace Geary, 13 points on just 3 of 19 shooting, 0 of 6 from distance, did not have the distance today, also had 8 turnovers. Katie Matthew hit 4 of the Beacons' 8 threes, and nice game from Katrina Edwards, who finished this one with 6 points and 10 rebounds. Take a look ahead. There's only one game left on the Beacons' regular season schedule. That's Saturday. So the Beacons host Eastern Connecticut State. 1 o'clock game will be live at 12:45 for the Beacons Senior Day ceremony as they honor one of the all-time greats in program history, Olivia Murphy, a 1,500-point scorer, closing in on 1,100 rebounds, and she's close to 175 blocks for her career. Good for second best in that category. Some good defense. Take a look right now at our great production crew doing a fine job in this one. Carl Poss and Jose Pena, your directors. Rachel Maslak, should be an asterisk next to her name. She also directed as well as doing instant replay. Jose not known for his timeliness necessarily. My name is Seth Orensky, joined as our camera operators Matt Coakley, Sam Gitcher, Michaela Kianco, and Gabriel Gomes Pereira. The final from Boston, UMass Dartmouth 77, UMass Boston 68, as the Beacons and Corsairs tied at 7-6, heading into the Little East Conference regular season finale on Saturday. Thanks so much for watching, folks. My name is Seth Orensky. Have a great day. Hello and welcome back to the Clark Athletic Center Gymnasium for game number 2 of our Little East Conference doubleheader. UMass Boston and UMass Dartmouth about to play for the 72nd time all time, and just the 4th time with Brian Baptiste and Charlie Titus not facing off. Second time this year is Charlie Titus, the Beacons' longtime head coach, retired after season number 40. Brian Baptiste isn't quite there, but he's in season number 33, 581 wins and counting with the Corsairs, amongst the top 10 amongst active coaches at the Division III level. Take a look at these two teams, and you've got a top offensive team with the top offensive player in the nation against the team that focuses a little bit more on defense. As you see there, Dartmouth, 83.4 points per game, tops in the conference. They lead the conference in field goal percentage, amongst the conference leaders in three-point field goal percentage as well. But the Beacons, their defensive numbers are in the middle of the pack or a little bit higher, whereas their offensive numbers are towards the bottom across the board. Neither side turns the ball over too frequently. As we take a look right now at the team statistics, or the player statistics, and you see there, the Beacons don't have a player averaging over 12.5 points per game. Jordan Resendez on the other side, a phenomenal talent. Resendez, in his final season of athletic eligibility, senior out of Onset, Massachusetts, bounced around, was at Dean College, Massachusetts Bay Community College, came into the Little East last year, the LEC Player of the Year, averaged 23 points, 3.8 assists, and 5.8 rebounds. This year, he's blowing those numbers away. 30 points per game, tied for first in the country. 6.7 assists per game, third in Division III. He's also amongst the top 5 in the country in made three-pointers, made threes per game, three-point attempts, made free throws, and free throw percentage. Actually, free throw percentage, he's only in the top 5 of the conference. That's not quite as impressive. For the Beacons, it's been a team effort. Michael Campbell with 12.5, 12.4 points per game for Quadri Allen and Maurice McGrath, as they've really had to rely on a total team effort. 14 different players have started at least one game this year for UMass Boston. Take a look right now at our player to watch, as Sam Freeman, one of the few returners from last year's team. They had just 4 from last year's team, as the Beacons had to replace their entire starting 5 and most of their team. Freeman had a big game the last time these two teams played with the team high 21 points. And Freeman's had a couple of 20-point outings, the new Mission High School product, as he'll get to play against one of his former teammates. As UMass Dartmouth has David Pierre, a freshman guard out of Hyde Park, who's played in just 2 games this season, but they'll be at least on opposite benches for this contest. We move along in our pregame and take a look at the all-time series in which UMass Dartmouth has really dominated. Corsairs lead 47-7 in UMass Boston versus UMass Dartmouth. The actual statistic is 57-14 if you include their stats while they were still Southeastern Massachusetts University, the other SMU, as it's really been all UMass Dartmouth, and really as of late, 18 of the past 21 contests. And they've also won 2 in a row, as they won the final game last year and then won earlier this season. Looking at the 2 coaches for these 2 sides, Brian Baptiste, talked about him a little bit already. Baptiste in his 33rd season, and he has just dominated the Little East Conference. Baptiste has won 13 regular season titles, 11 tournament titles, and ranks amongst the top 15 all-time in Division III in wins. On the other side, it's Jason Harris. In his first season with UMass Boston, Harris has had a up-and-down season. They started the year 5-5, handed Keene State College their first loss of the season back in December. Started second semester on a 9-game losing streak, but the Beacons defeated his alma mater 2 weekends ago with a win over Rick, and they've lost 2 in a row. Looking for a win here for their 3rd conference victory of the season. Harris, a longtime assistant at LIU Brooklyn at the Division I level, played his college ball at Rhode Island College. We'll bring you the starters right now for UMass Dartmouth, as they've had to replace a couple of key starters from last year's team. Wale Abraham, the 2-time Little East Conference Defensive Player of the Year, not back for his senior season. Also had to replace sharpshooters Jake Laga and John Genkos. Resendez, we've talked about him. John Robinson's a pretty good scorer. Nick Portalance is the player to watch down low. Freshman center out of Fairhaven, Massachusetts, one of 2 players averaging a double-double in the conference. 15 points a game, 10.6 rebounds a game. And he's joined out there by a former Beacon, Jaleel Moise. Moise was a freshman with UMass Boston back in 2012-13. Transferred to Wentworth, where he did not play. Last year, though, he played at Mass Bay Community College and averaged a near triple-double. Moise finished his season with Massasoit Community College, 12.2 points per game, 10.4 rebounds, and led the nation with 7.8 blocks per game. He's another Brockton High School product who played alongside Carl Joseph but was a year behind him and only played one season with the Beacons. We'll take a look right now at the Beacon starters as they'll introduce themselves, and then we'll bring you a quick 30-second commercial break before we bring you our keys to the game.
Quadra Allen, I'm a senior. I play shooting guard from White Castle, Louisiana.
Dan Powers, junior year at UMass. I play forward and I'm from Westwood, Mass.
Maurice McGrath, sophomore guard, Medford, Mass.
Samuel Freeman, junior, forward, from Boston, Massachusetts.
Kevin Lewis Jean, junior, forward, from Hyde Park, Mass.
I did receive a non-athletic scholarship upon entering school.
I got the presidential scholarship, which was huge for me.
I think there's more opportunities for academic scholarships in Division III.
I did receive academic scholarships. Just being involved on campus, being a leader, all those things combined kind of get me recognized. It's a great experience for me.
Back live at the Clark Athletic Center Gymnasium as we'll take a look right now at the keys to the game. Find a way to bother Jordan Resendez. The first time these two teams played, Resendez finished with 28 and 8. 28 points, 8 assists. He had just 2 in the first half, finished with 26 in the second half. Beacons need a total team effort. They've had a couple games recently where they've only had one player finish in double digits, maybe 2. They need 3 or 4 players with 12 to 15 points. And team rebounding, you can already see Nick Portalance has a couple inches on any Beacon out there, 6'8", 210. As he's one of a number of transfers out there in the starting lineup. As Moise taps it up, and it's picked up there by Abi Akani, the junior out of Fitchburg, Mass, who didn't play last season, but is back with the Corsairs for his junior year. Robinson drives by McGrath over him and gets it to fall with the left hand. An early basket for John Robinson, junior out of Chatham, Mass, down on the Cape, who's third on the team with his 11 points per game. Quadri Allen with it. One of the more consistent players on this Beacon team, senior out of Louisiana. Powers off the glass, and the answer's right there. Beacon's going with a new look starting 5 as they've used a different combination in all but 3 games here in second semester. As Robinson drives on McGrath, kicks it out for Akani. Akani looking to drive, and he pulls up from 4 feet. Good start for the Corsairs in their navy blue unis with the yellow lettering and yellow trim. The Beacons in their home whites with blue numbers and black trim. It's Maurice McGrath, who was formerly at UMass Dartmouth, did not play there. As McGrath, a running floater, and thus far both teams are a perfect 2 for 2. Robinson, wide open Akani up top for Portalance, guarded by the much smaller Freeman. Turnaround, way too strong. The rebound from Moise down low, and we've got a foul. Powers and Lewis Jean were down there for the Beacons. And it'll be Powers on this occasion. Jaleel Moise, the former Beacon, as his first one floated up and it rims out. Jaleel this season, 7.6 points per game, 4.8 rebounds, and 1.7 blocks. That's good for third in the conference. His first time against UMass Boston, 14 points on 5 and 9 shooting, but he misses both there. Moise is more of a dunker than a shooter. He also participated in the high jump in his 1 year at UMass Boston. One of a number of great athletes coming out of Brockton High School over the past 5 years. Freeman from McGrath, certainly capable of shooting from that distance. Drives all the way in. The up and under, no good. Freeman the rebound, working against Portalance. Hands it off for Powers, looking to go up. Draws the contact, no call. Powers' second effort is knocked away. And Portalance out ahead for Resendez. So dangerous. Looking to go the whole way. Floats it off the mark, and it's tapped into the hands of Allen. Resendez is just so silky smooth, as he's not only a top 3-point shooter, but really effortless at getting to the hoop. Powers for Lewis Jean, and then the handoff gives it off to Allen instead of McGrath, and it's going to go off the Beacons. Allen can't believe it. Our referees for this contest, Bill Navarrete, Jay Walsh, and David Engelston. As Robinson quickly into the front court. Just 2 minutes and 15 seconds gone here. We're all tied up at 4. Remember, here at the Clark Athletic Center Gymnasium, we play with media timeouts, so we'll have a stoppage basically every 4 minutes. Up top, Resendez looking for his first three of the day. Front rim, no good, and powers the rebound. Ball out ahead for McGrath. McGrath looking to drive, and he draws the contact on the floor. A little bit of an arm bar there on Resendez as he'll pick up his first foul. So Powers and Resendez a foul apiece, the only two here in the early going. Allen on the far side, playing his first game since hitting the game-winning field goal here at home as Freeman's called for the travel working against Portland. Allen with just 6 seconds left in regulation against Rhode Island College. Got a pass from Salim Omerovich and drove the length of the court, kissed it off the glass, and hit the game-winning shot with 0.9 seconds left. Portland's over Freeman, too strong. Rebound out to Powers. The Beacons have a chance for a 2-on-1. McGrath with Robinson, the lone player back. A little bit of a hesitation move. Kicks it over for Powers. Intercepted by Portland. Ahead for Resendez. He's got Robinson. Pushes off Allen. No call there. And that was a rather aggressive shove that referees didn't call. Allen not one of the bigger players on the floor, but certainly looked like enough for a potential offensive foul. 6-4 here. Resendez with his first 2 points of the game. His season low is 18 points on the year. He's finished with 20 or more in 22 of 23 games. Powers called for the moving pick. He's got 2. The Beacons have 2, and we'll see Michael Campbell check in. That's already good news for UMass Boston, as Campbell has been in and out of the lineup over the past 16 games. The JUCO All-American in his second season with the Beacons. He's missed 11 of the past 16. But he's back for this one, as he hasn't played in any of the past 3 games. Campbell, the Beacons' leading scorer at 12.5 points per game. Moise pulls up to the near side for Akani, working on Campbell. Baseline jumper, a little bit too strong. Campbell the rebound. Campbell was the Beacons' vocal and scoring leader for the first half of the season, but came down with a ankle sprain, as Portland is called there, as he just couldn't get out of the way of Allen. And that's Portland's first to go along with Resendez. Campbell went down with an ankle sprain, has not been the same player, but certainly capable of going off for 20, even 30 in a game. Great pass for Lewis Jean, couldn't make the catch, and it's out of bounds there as the slip screen nearly worked to perfection. Get our first media time out here. UMass Dartmouth 6, UMass Boston 4. Just 4 minutes and 6 seconds in. We'll take a timeout, and then we'll be back right here on the Beacons Broadcast Network.
UMass Boston was my first choice because when I came to the campus, I saw that there was a lot of diversity. There's a lot of people. Here there is a lot of international students, so it's really cool to meet people from different countries, different parts of the world. I'm Julia Murphy. I'm from Canton, Massachusetts.
I'm Olivia Murphy. I'm from Canton, Massachusetts.
We're sisters.
We're sisters.
I play volleyball and she plays basketball. Here they have a freshman success community. So each major has their own community that you can join as a freshman, and you take classes with them, you do study groups with them. So it was really helpful getting to know people in your major right away.
So in health exercise sciences, we have an internship at the end, so it's so much better to have like an advisor helping you out, like telling you which classes to choose.
Back to live action. UMass Boston will send out Lewis Jean, Allen, Freeman, McGrath, and Campbell for their 5 starters. For Dartmouth, they'll keep the starting 5 out there. Jordan Resendez with just 2 points here in the early going has not quite found the touch. As Resendez playing in just his 3rd career game against the Beacons. Portland's over Lewis Jean and Freeman there, and an easy bucket there for Nick Portland, who's potential candidate for Rookie of the Year. Be stunning if Resendez with his numbers was not named Player of the Year, although Hugh Lindo is putting up a late candidacy. Lindo, the big man for Eastern Connecticut State, putting up offensive numbers to go along with this very impressive rebounding and block totals. McGrath for Freeman, working on Portland. It's Freeman going up with the left arm hook shot, hit the front of the rim, and it carried into the hands of a Corsair. Robinson working on Allen, inside for Portalance, immediately called for the foul is Freeman, who put out that arm bar, and that's the new rule in basketball this season, is the Beacons are going to go big, or as big as they can go. They'll put their own 6'8" guy out there, Ruffin, Josh Ruffin, the Beacons freshman center, didn't play the first 6 games of the season. Member of the baseball team who decided he wanted to play basketball as well, as Allen looking for the tie-up. Instead, he finds Ruffin to the floor. Ruffin trying to get over to Campbell, and we're going to get a reach in there on Akani, who caught the wrist of Ruffin. So that's Akani's first, team's third. Ruffin, the freshman out of Rockland, Massachusetts, appearing in just his 13th game, averages 9.8 minutes per game, 24 career points, 2.1 rebounds per game, has 1 assist, 3 steals, and 4 blocks. Did have a career-high 8 rebounds on Saturday against Plymouth in a big loss. McGrath working against Akani, lost his footing, turnover, Resendez out ahead for Akani. McGrath coming back, strips him clean, and it's out of bounds off McGrath, who made up for a big mistake with a big play on the other end. Neil Cesar will check in for McGrath, who's playing with a lot of energy, but he's trying to control those emotions against his former team, or at least his former school. Portalance over Ruffin, who's called for the block there, and the foul. As Nick Portalance is a big boy who knows how to work down low. It's already the 4th foul against the Beacons. 2 on Powers. And 1 on Ruffin. As Portalance drains the first. Nick on the season, 55.6% from the free throw line. He didn't play the first time UMass Boston played the Corsairs. He's had 14 double-digit point games, 10 double-digit rebound games. He drains both of them. And now we'll see the Corsairs go into a full-court pressure. Salim Omarovic just into the game. The senior out of Saugus is pass from Allen intended for Omarovic. Comes all the way to Cesar just into the game. Cesar dives on it. And he'll find Ruffin, who almost lost the handle. This game is not the cleanest of played games thus far. So the Beacons have just 13 seconds on the shot clock. Campbell picks up the dribble. Ruffin can shoot the 3. Looks to drive, runner, no good. Omarovic taps it into the hands of Portalance. Resendez out ahead for Robinson. Robinson slows it down, out for Resendez. Pull up 3, drains it. And that is why Jordan Resendez is so dangerous. We'll take a break as the Beacons call timeout. It's a 9-0 run for the Corsairs to grab a 13-4 lead.
Paris changed my life, and I got there through UMass. Those very specific seminal moments in Paris, the subway. A man in a tuxedo walked in, and a woman in a long gown. And it was stunning. It all hit me. It was like a lightning bolt. There was this world of beauty and style that I wanted to be a part of. That was the beginning of the journey. And that all came through the University of Massachusetts. And that was really a key moment for me. That's one of those moments you never forget.
A 9-0 run has UMass Dartmouth out to a 13-4 lead. A couple substitutions for the Corsairs as they'll bring in Atakan Akam, the very talented freshman out of Hoosac Falls, New York. Akam in his 22nd game averages just over 20 minutes per game as Iser Barnes is in for the Beacons. Talented sophomore guard, originally out of Linden State College. Barnes gets hung up, finds Allen. Allen dribbles through. The floater, no good, and Portalance another rebound. Resendez had Robinson out in front. Now we'll slow it down. Resendez already with more points here in the first half than he finished with in the entire first half the last time these two teams played. Finished with 28 points for the game, but 26 in the second half. Resendez wide open at Connie. Front rim, no good. Allen tips the rebound to Campbell, and he'll look to run. Campbell running 1-on-3, will wisely pull it back, and he finds Omarovic. Over to Allen. Allen draws some contact from Portalance. Not enough. Neil Cesar from the corner. A little bit too strong. And Barnes pulls down the board. This is the Beacons' almost the most aggressive offensive group. McGrath the only other player as Omerovich catches it with 3 players around him. Can't finish with the left hand. Rebound falls to Portalance. And the Beacons have gone ice cold after a 2-for-2 start. McGrath to check back in at the next whistle. Resendez all the way to the cup. Kisses it off the glass. And he's got 7 of his team's 15, and it's an 11-point lead. Dartmouth is so dangerous when they get going. So many scoring options. But really, the combination of Portalance and Resendez is enough to give the Beacons issues down low and up top as Resendez nearly had the steal on Omerovich. Omerovich kicks it out top, and it's Campbell. Campbell working on Akani, can't get the finish, bounces it off the shoulder of Cesar as the Beacons don't communicate, and it's another rebound for the Corsairs. Resendez into the corner, no look pass for Atkan, passes up the 3, instead he almost had the N1, and the Corsairs will head to the line. As it's been all UMass Dartmouth since the score was tied 4-4. First foul on Barnes, 5th overall on the Beacons, just 3 on the Corsairs. Anakin Atkan to the line, 23 of 33 on the season for the free throw line. Calmly drains the first. The Beacons will send 4 new players out there. Powers with those 2 fouls. Gabriel Pereira, Caleb Ezewuzi, and Maurice McGrath all join Iser Barnes. On the other side, UMass Dartmouth bringing in Tom Keys, the junior guard out of Fall River, Massachusetts. He's out there with Resendez, Akani, Atkan, and the newest player out there is Arinzi Obior. Pereira caught up in the air, and he's called for the charge there. Nice job by Keys to take the contact. Obiora, the freshman forward out of Hyde Park, Mass, attended Brookline High School. And we'll take immediate timeout, and I'll try to stop stumbling all over my words. 13-point lead for the Corsairs as they've scored 13 in a row here. 11:54 to go, first half.
Let's go Beacons! Let's go Beacons! Let's go Beacons!
Come on, Jake.
As usual, she wins it. A chance in front. Her shot is in the net. Crystal laid it. Yet another goal.
Please make a gift to the Beacon Athletic Fund today. We want you on our team.
$11:54 here left in the first half. The Corsairs on a 13-0 run. As it's been the Jordan Resendez, Nick Portalance show in the early going. Portalance on the bench right now, which means Dartmouth doesn't hold quite as large of a size advantage down low as Moise will head to the scorer's table. Resendez behind the back and the finish over the much smaller Barnes. And just unbelievable how easy Jordan Resendez makes everything look offensively. As he already over 1,200 points, closing in on 1,300 in just 2 seasons. It's over the 700-point mark for this year as McGrath can't finish on the turnaround, and the rebound into the hands of Obiora. We'll see Freeman head to the scorer's table as well. Resendez working on Barnes into the lane, the floater, and Resendez is on fire. This is the equivalent of NBA Jam where he just can't miss. As the senior just putting another exclamation point on what has been a phenomenal career at UMass Dartmouth. Powers looking to get all the way in, drew contact way off the mark with the left hand. And the Beacons not getting the calls as it's Allen and Cesar coming in for Barnes, Ezewuzi, and Pereira. 17-0 run right now for UMass Dartmouth. Looking a little bit further at Resendez. 22 games of 20-plus points. He's had 30 in 10-plus games. He's hit 50 twice this season, including 58 against Plymouth State. That was a loss Resendez for three. Front rim, no good. Rebound into the hands of Freeman, and he pulls down a big board there, working against Obiora. Allen, the Beacons desperately need some kind of points, and he draws the foul. Good hard drive there, and Key is forced to give it up. And now Allen will have two chances from the free throw line to stop this 17-0 run. Quadri, one of 5 Beacon seniors who will be honored on Saturday before the Beacons game against Eastern Connecticut State, is Allen's first one off the mark. Quadri out of White Castle, Louisiana. 12.4 points, tied for 15th in the conference. Leads the team with his 2.7 assists per game. 76.9% free throw shooter, first on the team, 9th in the conference, as Allen can't make the second. When things are going bad, they just seem to get worse and worse for this Beacons team as they're struggling defensively, and then your best free throw shooter, an 0 for 2 trip. Pass down low to a newly inserted player. That was Chris Mendez who turns it over. Allen for Powers, good look at the basket, little bit of contact, and he finishes through it as Powers finally breaks the run ahead for Atcam, and Atcam the answer as McGrath couldn't get the strip this time. 17-point game just past the midway point of this first half. The Beacons no strangers to slow starts. Question is, can they get back into this game like they have so many other times? McGrath blocked out of bounds, and it'll stay with the Beacons as that was Obiora. Barnes and Lewis Jean in for Freeman and McGrath as Maurice has yet to find the shooting touch in this one. Barnes, the inbounder for the Beacons, finds Lewis Jean and right back to Barnes. And we'll get a reach in there on Obiora. That's the 5th there on the Corsairs. You need 7 to shoot the 1-on-1. 10 the double bonus. As that's the first foul on Obiora. Barnes working against Atcam. Big size difference between those two players. Barnes looking to go all the way with the right hand. Can't finish. Lewis Jean the rebound. Fighting off 2 players, and we're going to get a tie-up. And it'll stay with UMass Boston. Good job by Obiora and Moise to avoid letting Lewis Jean go back up with it. It's Barnes and Lewis Jean working the same inbounds play. Powers, who just had the Beacons' first basket in about 8 minutes. And Allen. Barnes leaves it for Lewis Jean, was wide open, passed up a great shot, and then Lewis Jean, not expecting it, couldn't keep his footing. And he's called for an easy travel as Nick Portalance will check in for Obiora. Just had some good minutes there for UMass Dartmouth. 17-point Corsairs lead, as it'll be Mendez manning the point. The junior out of Somerset, Mass, a Merrimack transfer, as he transferred in mid-year. He's played in every game here in second semester. Mendez to the corner, Atcam off the mark. Portalance the easy rebound, and the finish with the putback. Just towering over the Beacons bigs there, and an easy finish for the very talented 6'8" big for the Corsairs. Allen all the way to the tin. This time it falls, and the Beacons cut it back to 17. It's Mendez averaging 5.4 points per game. Cesar got clipped there on the rebound. It's Atcam with the foul. Neil Cesar, junior guard out of Randolph, Mass, transfer from Eastern Nazarene College. Played his high school ball just across the street at Boston College High School. He's playing in his 19th game of the year as Allen will check off. McGrath in there. Omerovich in for Lewis Jean. 16 fouls apiece. As it's going to be Barnes kicking it over to Cesar. Couldn't make the catch. Iser has diced up this defense, but he keeps passing the ball. And I think that's another instance where Cesar might not quite have been ready for the pass and just let it go right through his hands. So the Beacons' only advantage might be their speed and not taking advantage of it. Portalance around Omerovich draws the foul and will head to the line for 2. Portalance is the real deal down low. Took a year off to attend community college last year. This is his first year of college basketball, and he's having a very good season. Already 9 double-doubles, a 2-time Little East Conference Rookie of the Week. Misses the first, now 2 of 3 from the line. John Robinson back in there for Keys. Portland's averages just about 30 minutes a game as he drains the second to push the lead out to 18. Powers finds Omerovich, the handoff to Barnes. Barnes to the near side for McGrath. Nearly lost his footing, and the Beacons will have to settle into their half-court offense. McGrath pushing into Robinson, kisses it off high off the scoreboard, and the Beacons' deficit is 16. UMass Boston has looked okay at points offensively. The defense has been the issue. That came up top for Robinson. Portalance stripped away by Cesar. Great weak side help. Now it's Barnes with one player to beat. Moise into the corner. McGrath passes up the 3. Instead he goes from 4 feet. Moise the easy block. And now it's controlled there by Mendez. The Beacons showing bits and pieces of brilliance, but just nowhere near enough against this Corsairs team. Mendez, the pull-up 3. Another big bucket there, and the Corsairs have pushed the lead back out to 19. It's been an impressive display thus far by UMass Dartmouth as they have just been all over the Beacons. Two teams both hit their first 2 shots. Since then, a 25-6 run. 17-0 at one point. Powers trying to use the glass, unable to finish. Rebound for Barnes. Barnes amongst the trees. He's tied up, and it'll go back to the Corsairs. Media timeout. We'll take it with the team. 6:55 to go in the first half. The Corsairs 29, UMass Boston 10 here at the Clark Athletic Center Gymnasium.
The University of Massachusetts Boston, with its scenic oceanfront campus, easily accessible to downtown Boston, is recognized as a model of excellence for urban public universities. 16 NCAA Division III sports are part of the more than 100 student organizations that create an engaging campus life in America's biggest and best college town. UMass Boston, Boston's urban public research university for the 21st century.
$6:55 to go in the first half. UMass Boston trailing by 19. It was a 17-0 run for the Corsairs to grab a 21-4 lead. And since then, the Beacons have tried chipping into it, but haven't had much success, as it'll be Mendez with a little bit of pressure coming from Barnes. Barnes has showed some really good speed in this one as Portalance asking for the ball from Akani. Up top, it's Moise the jumper. And the rebound, Moise fighting for it. Instead, it's Barnes. Out ahead for Allen. Has McGrath 2-on-1. Allen the whole way. Can't finish. McGrath tried to tap it home. Instead, it's Moise. As Allen unable to finish with the lone player back, Mendez. Robinson turns into the paint for Akani. Akani looking to drive there around Omerovich, and we've got a block on Omerovich. Jason Harris can't believe it, and an N1 opportunity coming from Abi Akani. Since the Beacons' blowout loss in their home opener against Salem State, the Beacons have not been beaten this badly here at home. This team doesn't always have the talent to compete with some of these teams, but they certainly have shown the heart and hustle. But this has been a dominating display. McGrath fighting his way all the way in, but can't finish as he worked against the taller Akani. Mendez trying to push the pace as Ewuzi will head to the scorer's table along with Resendez. Mendez, handoff for Akani, right back for Mendez, thought about the 3, drives in, leaving it for Portalance. Powers fighting him, and Portalance can't finish, gets his own rebound, and puts it off the glass for another basket. Leads as large as it's been at 24 right now for UMass Dartmouth. Allen, Barnes, Omerovich, Powers, and McGrath. Omerovich spots up for a 3, nothing but net. Salim gives the Beacons a rare offensive highlight right there. The Beacons, since scoring 4 points in the opening minute and 30, have just 9 points over the past 13-plus minutes. Akani pulls up in the paint too strong. Barnes the rebound, but he's slowed down by his own player as Omerovich was on top of it. Barnes for Powers, who picked up 2 early fouls to throw him off his game. Barnes, 30 feet from the basket, looking to head towards it. Now it's Powers, double teamed and had one of his own players in front of him. Omerovich just hit a 3, looking to drive with 7 all the way to the hoop. Couldn't quite hit the up and under there. Now Menez out ahead for Moise, broken up by McGrath, and now Moise is called for the foul. Nothing that Moise could have done about that one as McGrath really ran into him. And that'll be the 8th on UMass Dartmouth, and we should see the 1-and-1. As you can see, Omerovich is just out of gas. Barnes is tired, as is Powers. All three will head out. Freeman, Lewis Jean, and Ezewuzi in there for the Beacons to join Allen and McGrath. And it'll be a 1-and-1 opportunity here. 17 foul in the Corsairs. The Beacons have been charged 8 times. McGrath is first. Nothing but net there for the talented sophomore guard out of Medford. McGrath on the season, 12.4 points per game, tied with Allen for the second most. Shooting 76.4% from the free throw line. Good for second on the team, just behind Allen as he hits both to cut the deficit to 19. Mini 5-0 run for the Beacons to get it a little bit closer. Resendez, crossover dribble behind the back. Robinson spots up for 3 over McGrath. Another 3 for the Corsairs, who were shooting the lights off of the basketball here. I don't know quite where I was going with that, but they are just very impressive from distance. Lewis Jean looking for help, finds Allen working on Robinson. Allen tries to throw it up the right hand, draws the contact on Robinson, and he'll head to the line for 2. I think I was trying to go for shooting the cover off the basketball, but it really doesn't matter at this point. UMass Dartmouth is having a tremendous first half, already 37 points with 4:14 to go. It's the first on Robinson, and Allen's 0 for 3 today from the free throw line. Very uncharacteristic for Quadri. Allen has already scored more points this season than his prior 3 in a Beacons uniform. As he started every game this season, the lone Beacon to do that. Resendez up top. Has Akani to his right, Portalance down low, Moise in the left corner, and Beacons called for a reach in there as Allen and McGrath both went for the steal. It'll be Allen on the foul, the 9th on the Beacons, and Resendez will head to the line for the 1-and-1. Talked about it, Resendez being in the top 10 in so many different categories. His numbers from the free throw line are astounding. 83.1%, good for 4th in the conference. He's 5th in the nation in made free throws at 167. 6th in attempts at 201 as he knocks down the first. Resendez now with 12 points, 5 of 7 from the field. Now 1 for 1 from the free throw line as he hits the second as well. UMass Dartmouth shooting 53.8% from the field. The Beacons 26.1%, doubling up the Beacons at this point. 24-point deficit. It's Cesar trying to find McGrath. Ill-advised pass, but McGrath fights through it and takes it away from Akani. McGrath, a couple of nice spin moves, and he'll draw the contact on either Akani or Portalance. It'll be the second on Resendez, actually, and we'll get immediate timeout. UMass Boston down by 24. We'll take a stoppage along with the teams as it's been all UMass Dartmouth here in half number 1.
I did receive a non-athletic scholarship upon entering school.
I got the presidential scholarship, which was huge for me.
I think there's more opportunities for academic scholarships in Division III.
I did receive academic scholarships. Just being involved on campus, being a leader, all those things combined kind of get me recognized. It's a great experience for me.
3:43 to go here in half number one. It'll be Maurice McGrath to the line for 2 on the shooting fouls. You see McGrath right there. Spent a year at UMass Dartmouth, but was not on the team. He knocks down the first. One of numerous players who Jason Harris reached out to or found it playing intramurals fall semester. He added to the team. McGrath has been one of the most successful. Dan Powers, another transfer out of Endicott College. As it's Robinson up top for Port Alliance. Dartmouth has a number of transfers themselves. Resendez the most notable, but also Port Alliance in his first year after a year at community college, along with Moise. Robinson, the deep 3, and he's just so silky smooth with the left hand. Pushes the lead out to the largest it's been at 25. Allen working on Robinson, gets the screen from Freeman, takes it all the way with a little right hand floater, and it's out of bounds off the Beacons as Allen just can't buy a bucket right now. Very frustrated with himself. Tried to go George Gervin there with the little finger roll and couldn't get it to go. Port Alliance calling for it on the near block. Robinson will give it to him. There's the foul on Freeman, who can't believe it. Immediately gave a long look there at his head coach, and it's the 10th on the Beacon, so it'll be 2 free throws coming from Port Alliance. Second on Freeman. Port Alliance with 9 points and 8 rebounds, give him 10 for the game, as we'll see Pereira and Omarovich into the game. Powers and Freeman will take a seat. The Beacons have used all but 4 of the players available for tonight's game already. UMass Dartmouth hasn't gone quite as deep into their bench. The lead stretched out to 27 at this point. Allen up top to the near side for Omarovich. McGrath looking to go to work. Instead, he pulls it out farther, working from the wing, looking to drive, lost it, picks it back up for Omarovich with 14, working on the much larger Port Alliance, turns and throws it up. Very high shot that doesn't make it off the glass. Moise was out ahead of the pack. Instead, it's Mendez, who's the backup point guard of Resendez. Resendez, more of a scoring point guard, but he's also 3rd in the country in assists to go along with tied for 1st in points. Great move from Akani, but he tries to pass it, and now we've got a charge there on Abiakani, who ran over Omarovich. Omarovich right back to the bench as it'll be Lewis Jean in for him. Second foul there on Akani will check out. Said it'll be Atakan Akcamp. Allen manning the point out there with Pereira, Lewis Jean, McGrath, and Cesar. Allen the 3 off the mark, and it's Port Alliance the rebounders. There were 3 Corsairs down low against Kevin Lewis Jean. 2 minutes to go in the half. It's been all UMass Dartmouth as they lead by 27. Port Alliance at the 3-point line looking for a pass. Finds Mendez. Mendez, the Division II transfer up top for Robinson, already has 2 threes. Around Cesar, flings it off the side of the backboard, gets his own rebound, as that was almost a self-pass. Moise too strong, and it's picked up there by McGrath. Maurice McGrath looks to drive, the hop step, can't finish, and Robinson the rebound. Robinson has numbers, 3-on-2 chance to Mendez, and Mendez will slow it down. Seems to be his MO. He's not the same kind of pace pusher as Resendez is when he gets into a chance in the fast break. Robinson looking for Port Alliance. Double team comes from Cesar. Port Alliance can't finish. Moise comes in, steals the rebound from Allen, and Moise will be fouled and head to the line for 2 more. 65 seconds left in the half. And Moise will try to find the shooting stroke. It's not been his best attribute here tonight, as he's missed a couple of jump shots. 0 for 2 for the free throw line. Knocks that one down as he takes a long look at one of Brian Baptiste's assistants. Baptiste assisted by Scott Picard and Alex Rodriguez. Jay Harris's lone assistant is Kendrick Price, former University of Michigan player and NBA D-leaguer. 60 seconds left in the half. The Beacons trail by 29, their largest deficit. It's Allen. The jump stop draws the contact. They'll head to the line for 2 more. As Quadri clearly frustrated, not just by the score, but by his offensive output. It's going to be the second foul there on Atcam. Really no worries about foul trouble, though, at this point for UMass Dartmouth. A couple players with 2. Powers picked up 2 early ones for the Beacons, but hasn't had any more as Allen knocks down the first. Josh Ruffin will head to the scorer's table. He saw a brief period of action early on in the half as he'll check in for Lewis Jean. Allen 2 for 2. Deficit back to 27. Mendez will man the point. 23-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Nice little battle going on here between Mendez and Barnes. Both players extremely quick. Portalance on the block against Ruffin. Kicks it out for Robinson. Robinson, nice ball fake. Long 2 off the mark. Mendez the rebound down low. The up and under. Portalance the second chance, still fighting for it. Ruffin can't rebound it. And now we'll get a new 30-second clock with just a 2-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Brian Baptiste yelling out instructions. It's Mendez just short of the midcourt line with Allen near him. Down to 9 on the shot clock. Mendez spins, turns, looks for the backdoor cut, finds Moise, can't finish, and now it falls as his 2-hand dunk took a while there. 2 seconds. Barnes the half-court shot off the mark, and we head to the break. UMass Dartmouth 48, UMass Boston 19. The Corsairs used a 17-0 run to blow this game wide open.
Dear Lord, we ask you today to keep us safe from injury, to let us play to the best of our ability. We ask you to give us the strength of our loved ones who have passed and cannot be here with us today. And lastly, we ask you to give us the determination, the desire, and the heart to battle for 60 minutes, as we represent the man to the left and to the right of us. We are a single unit, we are a family, we are the University of Massachusetts Boston.
Jason, so you know, I need you to be positive with them, and I need you to be positive and you to be positive with them.
And welcome back to the Clark Athletic Center Gymnasium. No halftime interview today with Coach Jason Harris. Kind of understandable, things not going the Beacons' way. We'll take a look right now at the highlights from the last home game. The things did go the Beacons' way. A last-second game-winning shot from Quadri Allen gave the Beacons a 64-63 win over Rhode Island College. The Beacons' first win in their last 10 games, and also importantly, the first ever win for Jason Harris in 4 tries against his alma mater. Take a look at those highlights right now, then we'll have the halftime stats and a look around the rest of the conference as the Beacons trail by 29 here at the break.
I'm living in that 21st century, doing something mean to it, do it better than anybody you ever seen. Do it, scream from the haters, got a nice ring to it. I guess every superhero need his theme music. answers in my mind, but couldn't open up my own vault. My talent like creativity, purity, and honesty is honestly being crowded by these grown thoughts. Reality is catching up with me, taking my inner child, I'm fighting for custody. But these responsibilities that they entrusted me, as I look down at my diamond encrusted piece, thinking no one man should have all that power. The clock's ticking, I just count the hours. Stop tripping, I'm tripping off the powder. Till then, that the world's ours. Damn well, y'all feeling this. I don't need your.
I don't know what to say, really. 3 minutes to the biggest battle of our professional lives. All comes down to today. Either we heal as a team, or we're gonna crumble. Inch by inch, play by play, till we're finished. We're in hell right now.
And welcome back. Right now, the Beacons trailing by 29. UMass Dartmouth coming out on the court with 7 minutes and 30 seconds to go before the start of the second half. As you see there, 48-19. We'll take a look right now at the team statistics. It's been a one-sided affair thus far, and it shows. UMass Dartmouth just under 50% now. The Beacons shooting 21.4% as the Beacons 6 of 28. Dartmouth 16 of 34. The Corsairs 4 of 8 from distance. The Beacons 1 of 4. Corsairs 12 of 15 from the free throw line. The Beacons at 60%. Dartmouth with big leads in points in the paint, points off turnovers, a 10-0 advantage in second chance points. As we take a look right now at the team leaders, and 2 players for Dartmouth in double digits. The Beacons only have 1 player with 8 or more points. Resendez with 13 points on 5 of 7 shooting in just 12 minutes. Also has 2 assists. Nick Portalance, a double-double in the first half of 11 points and 10 rebounds. On the other side for the Beacons, 8 points from Maurice McGrath, who's 2 of 7 but 4 of 4 from the free throw line. 4 points from Dan Powers, 4 from Allen, and 3 from Omerovich, and that's the extent of the Beacons scoring in the half. The Beacons, Iser Barnes leads the team with 4 rebounds and just 1 assist for the half as UMass Boston trying to do it individually rather than as a team. We'll take a look right now at the Little East Conference out-of-town scoreboard. A couple other games going on. Southern Maine and Plymouth State, that's a big one. Southern Maine leading by 7 with a ton of time to go in that second half. Southern Maine currently sits second at 8-4. Plymouth State at 6-6 in a 3-way tie with UMass Dartmouth and Keene State College for that 4th and final home playoff spot. Top 4 hosts, all 8 get in. Eastern Connecticut State and Keene State, that game, something must have happened in the women's game for that game to be starting this late, but Keene out to an early lead over the conference leaders, Eastern Connecticut State, who's already wrapped up the #1 seed. And Rhode Island College, a surprise, they're leading Western Connecticut State at the half. Rhode Island College, who's battling with the Beacons for that 7 spot, would wrap it up with a win today. They're just at 3-9, whereas Western Con at 7-5, currently sitting in third, but they could fall potentially out of the top 4 with a pair of losses. We'll take a look ahead right now as UMass Boston will close out the regular season on Saturday, a 1 p.m. game, their last home game of the year, as they'll honor their seniors. Beacons will honor Quadri Allen, Salim Omerovich, Michael Campbell, and Mike Arnault before that one. So we'll bring that to you live at about 12:45 here on the Beacons Broadcast Network. Play the highlights from the men's hockey team's game from Saturday as they wrapped up their first regular season title since 1982, and then we'll have the highlights for you right here on the Beacons Broadcast Network. And you see the players warming up right there. We're going to play you the highlights from the first half right now as the Corsairs swamping the Beacons, leading by 29 at the break. Dartmouth did not play there as McGrath, a running floater for Powers, intercepted by Portland. Ahead for Resendez. He's got Robinson, pushes off Allen. No call there. Robinson slows it down, out for Resendez. Pull up three, drains it. Down low as Moise will head to the scorer's table. Resendez behind the back and the finish over the much smaller Mendez, who turns it over. Allen for Powers, good look at the basket, little bit of contact, and he's his footing, and the Beacons will have to settle into their half-court offense. McGrath pushing into Robinson, kisses it off high in his first year after a year at community college, along with Moise. Robinson, the deep three. Two teams are ready, and so are we here at the Beacons Broadcast Network. UMass Boston will start with the ball going from right to left. It's Quadriel and Sam Freeman, Maurice McGrath, Dan Powers, and Kevin Lewis-Jean with the ball right now, being guarded by Jaleel Moise, Jordan Resendez, Abi Akani, Nick Portalance, and John Robinson. So UMass Dartmouth starting their starting five, leading by 29 to start the second half. Freeman going to work on the near block. Freeman thinking about it, looking for the hook shot. Instead, the fadeaway can't finish. Portalance, the easy rebound. His 11th of the game. Running the break is Robinson, and the easy finish with the great pass from Abi Akani. Dartmouth on pace to close to 100 for this one. They average 84 a game. Lewis-Jean, the long two, front rim no good, long rebound, and Moise fights his way through a double team to pick it up. Jordan Resendez actually had a semi-quiet first half for him, 13 points. He averages 30 a game. Portalance over Kevin Lewis-Jean, can't finish. Freeman loses the rebound, but it's over to McGrath. McGrath, the Beacons' leading scorer with 8 thus far. Leaves it for Powers. A freight train to the hoop, loses it, gets his own lost ball, and it's blocked out of bounds there with a combination of Akani and Portalance. 18:50 to go in regulation. The Beacons, their biggest deficit at 31. McGrath, the three, rims out. Powers, strong rebound, blocked from behind by Akani. And it'll be Beacons ball with 28 on the shot clock. This Dartmouth team is full of athletes. You know, we knew about Jaleel Moise if you're a Beacons fan. As Powers goes through Resendez, can't finish once again. Robinson the rebound ahead for Resendez, but they have so many guys who can just fly. It's Akani from the corner, nice baseline jumper from him, showing the versatility, and the lead continues to stretch out a bit further. Isaac Barnes immediately escorted to the scorers table as Beacons looking to find some kind of life. Allen for Lewis-Jean on the block, right hand, it rattles home. Lewis-Jean working on the smaller Akani, and the Beacons haven't gone to that matchup nearly enough. As Akani overpowers from the elbow, no good, and Lewis-Jean the rebound. Beacons looking for a rare chance to have baskets on back-to-back possessions. Freeman the long two, front rim no good. Moise tiptoeing the baseline, he gets the rebound. Robinson to bring it up as Eric Flores Gonzalez, one of the Beacons freshmen, heads to the scorer's table as well. It'll be his first appearance in this one. Resendez looking to get to the lane. Backhand pass behind the back for Akani. Can't finish, as that would have been a beautiful assist there. And Lewis-Jean able to pull down the rebound and finds Powers. No look, backhand. Just a beautiful pass there as the Beacons will send 2 more players, Ruffin and Omerovich, to join Gonzalez and Barnes. Allen around his screen, looking to go all the way, tried to leave it off for Freeman, blocked. A second swap for Moise, the first on a pass, 3-on-1 chance. Resendez leaving it for Moise, who can't make the catch, and it's out of bounds there off of Allen, as that would have been a highlight reel dunk, but Moise couldn't make the catch. Jaleel, a former Beacon, a high jumper, showed the ups there, just couldn't quite get it. As UMass Dartmouth showing a little flair here. Portalance the catch and the bucket and the foul, as Ruffin couldn't get inside position there, and the lead stretches out further here as we're just 3:03 into the second half. Second foul on Ruffin, who, if nothing else, can get a little bit more playing time here in the second half if Jason Harris so chooses. Trying to get some of his freshmen a little playing time, a little game experience, as Ruffin pulls down the rebound off the missed free throw. 33-point deficit for the Beacons, and what would be their largest loss in quite a while. Offensive foul on Ruffin, who tried to give the screen. It's his second in maybe 10 seconds. And that's 3 on Ruffin, 2 on the Beacons. Ruffin, the first player with 3 fouls for either side, as the Corsairs could be on their way for a sweep here in the season, and then a sweep in tonight's action as the women's team pulled off a 9-point victory over the UMass Boston women's team. UMass Dartmouth looking to improve to 7-6 in conference play, trying to match their women's team. Robinson, near side, Moise, 10-footer, and he gets that one to fall. It's rough and couldn't quite get there. 25-point game, rather 35-point game. It's Eric Flores-Gonzalez to Omerovich. Omerovich looking for help, finds McGrath. McGrath working on Brezenda, 2 of the top offensive players in this matchup. McGrath all the way to the hoop, can't finish, and McGrath saves it off of Robinson, and the Beacons will keep possession. Maurice McGrath, a ton to play for against his former school, and he's played hard in this one. First media time out of the second half. UMass Dartmouth, their largest lead of the game, 56-21. Eric Flores-Gonzalez inbounds from underneath the Beacons basket. It's Powers, the long 2, rattles home. And Dan Powers is up to 6 in this one, second only to McGrath. Powers played his high school ball at Catholic Memorial, a 1,000-point scorer there. Spent his first 2 years at Endicott College, a junior transfer for the Beacons, one of their top overall players. Moise, the baseline jumper, way too strong. Rebound bounces into the hands of McGrath. UMass Boston looking to run. Flores-Gonzalez able to make the catch, but a little bit too far ahead. Leaves it for Powers. Beautiful play as Flores-Gonzalez found Powers on the cut, and he's got 4 in a row, and the Beacons cut it to 31. Eric, a freshman guard out of Chelsea. Resendez, deep 3. His first points of the second half. He's up to 16 for the game. Flores-Gonzalez making his 14th appearance, averages just 6.2 points per game. That was his 5th collegiate assist. McGrath working against the double team for Omerovich, looking for his second 3, too strong. McGrath taps the rebound out for Robinson, ahead for Moise. Moise with Omerovich there, and he puts it in with the right hand, trying to avoid contact. The one thing that is for certain in this game is that both teams are looking to run. It's just the Corsairs have been more aggressive. McGrath blocked by Moise. Out ahead is Akani. Akani, one dribble, the right hand jam as Ruffin couldn't get back. A valiant effort from the Beacons freshman. We'll get a Beacons timeout. Iser Barnes will check in, and we'll take a stoppage along with the teams, although first we'll bring you the highlight of that last dunk if we have it, as Akani out ahead of the pack and slammed it down with the right hand, as we'll take a look at that one right now. And now we'll head to a commercial break.
The University of Massachusetts Boston, with The University of Massachusetts Boston, with its scenic oceanfront campus, easily accessible to downtown Boston, is recognized as a model of excellence for urban public universities. 16 NCAA Division III sports are part of the more than 100 student organizations that create an engaging campus life in America's biggest and best college town. UMass Boston, Boston's urban public research university for the 21st century.
Back to live action. The Beacons will bring out Pereira and Barnes to join McGrath, Allen, and Powers. Resendez, Portalance, Akani, Moise, and Robinson. Barnes all the way to the tin and gets it to fall as he was able to beat Resendez to the basket on that occasion. Beacons showing a little bit more fight here in the second half. Robinson for Akani. Akani looking to drive. Through the legs dribble with the right hand. Beautiful effort there from Abi Akani to tack on a few more points. Barnes splits the double team, kicks it out deep. Three from McGrath, rattles out. Pereira the rebound, and he's fouled from behind by Portalance, who's frustrated with the lack of help on the boards, but see Gabe Pereira head to the line. Gabe was out for about 2/3 of the season with a broken knuckle, but he came back, appearing in his 12th game. 3.8 points, 3.3 rebounds. Too strong on the first for the sophomore from Brockton. Now 11 of 23 from the free throw line. Pereira's second, too strong as well. Barnes fighting against the much taller Portalance. And Portalance pulls down the rebound despite the efforts of Iser Barnes. Robinson up top for Akani. Portalance calling for it against Pereira. Powers there as well. Portalance misses, gets his own rebounds. Now Barnes pulls down the board. Barnes looking to run. Ahead for Pereira, 1-on-2. Pereira avoids the turnover. Pereira still going against Moise. That's one former Brockton boxer against another, and Pereira unable to finish. 13 minutes to go in regulation. Dartmouth leading 65-27. Pullback three for Resendez. Rattles out. Powers can't handle it. Moise has it. Trying to find a teammate. Robinson will catch it out of bounds as Ezewuzi and Arinze Obiora check in for their respective sides. Portalance and Powers will check out. Barnes working on Resendez. This has been a fun little battle as Barnes will kick it out for Allen on the NCAA logo. Allen looking for McGrath. McGrath guarded by Robinson. McGrath looking to go to the hole, loses it, and it's off of Maurice and out of bounds. UMass Dartmouth ball as Powers will come right back in for Pereira. A little bit frustrated, thought he deserved more time, and now Cesar will check in as he'll call McGrath's number. 65-27, the Corsairs lead. 12:25 to go in regulation of this, the penultimate game of the regular season for both teams. Up top, it's Obiora. Resendez another three, front rim. Hasn't shot nearly as well as he's used to, and there's a nice job by Obiora off the good feed from Resendez. It's a 40-point game here with 12 minutes to play. As Powers looking to drive, draws the contact, the block from Obiora. Powers swats it but right to Resendez. Resendez looking to leave it off for Obiora. Too fancy that time, and it's out of bounds off of Ezewuzi as McGrath will check back in. And we've got immediate timeout. We'll take a timeout along with the teams. Corsairs leading by 40.
I did receive a non-athletic scholarship upon entering school.
I got the presidential scholarship, which was huge for me.
I think there's more opportunities for academic scholarships in Division III.
I did receive academic scholarships. Just being involved on campus, being a leader, all those things combined kind of get me recognized. It's a great experience for me.
UMass Boston huddled around Jason Harris as they try to come up with some kind of answers to slow down the Corsairs. UMass Dartmouth with 67 points in the first 28 minutes. The Beacons with 27 points through 28 minutes and 12 seconds of action. The Beacons season low for points in a game came against the University of Southern Maine last week, in which they finished with just 53. They're in danger of doing much worse than that, as there's a three from the Corsairs. McGrath for Powers, the three. That one falls. And Dan Powers' fan section, along with the cheerleaders, are very happy. Resendez double teamed in the backcourt, fights his way through it for Moise. Moise will give it right back for Resendez. And over to Robinson. 14 on the shot clock. Robinson looking backdoor cut, finds Moise, stripped of the ball. Obiora with 9. Atcam double teamed over to Obiora. Out top of Resendez with 5. Wide open Robinson in the corner. And that one will go all over the rim, off the glass and home. And it's the largest lead of the game at 43. 10:45 to go in regulation. As Barnes will find the corner for Cesar. Cesar looking to go the whole way. Beautiful play with the left hand. And he tacks on a basket for the Beacons. UMass Boston, it's another play where it was just sort of a one-man show. They had just one assist in the first half. Haven't had too many more here. As Resendez, the floater, no good. Barnes fights off Resendez for the rebound. Iser's been very aggressive in this game despite the big deficit. Hands it off for Powers. Powers looking to go the whole way. He's blocked, but he's also fouled, as it should be Obiora, but Robinson was there too. 2 free throws coming for Dan. As that's the second on Obiora, the second on the team. Powers gets the first to fall. Powers, a junior out of Westwood, Mass., averaging 9.5 points, 8.3 rebounds, and 1.8 assists. As Allen will take a seat with Freeman checking back in. Powers drains both. As Dan now has 13, that's tops amongst the Beacons. Resendez leads all scorers with 19. Moise over to Resendez. Powers took it away, but his feet were on the blue paint on the far side. And that's what demarcates the out-of-bounds marker. Abiakani checks back in, as Moise will trot off. Connie out top for Resendez. Resendez and Barnes have gone at it all evening long. Up top, it's Obiora looking for Resendez, stolen away by Barnes. Barnes looking to take it the entire way, and he rolls it off his right fingertips to cut the deficit to 37. Iser Barnes has certainly been one of the Beacons who have not given up, and there he's called for the foul, riding the shirt tails of Resendez, and those two give each other a nice little shoulder bump. Second on Barnes, third on the Beacons. Anakin Atcam over for Resendez. And over to Robinson. Obiora posting up on Freeman, 130 against another. Resendez trying to dribble, and Barnes nearly had the steal. Resendez leaving it off for Obiora, tapped away, rebound loose. Powers has it, up ahead for McGrath. McGrath with the right hand lay-in. And the Beacons continuing to push UMass Dartmouth. Resendez has tried to get really fancy here. This time he'll be guarded by McGrath. And he pushes off him. 6-foot jump shot, no good. Obiora the rebound. Over to Atcam. And Robinson has it up top with the new 30. Handoff for Resendez. Deep three. Front rim, no good. And Barnes the rebound. Barnes had McGrath and Powers. Chooses Powers. Powers around Atcam. Looking to go all the way. The stutter step. And he finishes. And the Beacons a little 6-0 run. Sabi Akani threw a double team over to Atcam. Atcam wide open. Robinson all day. and he can't hit the wing three as that one's out of bounds off the Corsairs. This is the best 2 to 3 minute stint the Beacons have had all evening long, with the exception of the first two when they were tied 2-2 or 4-4. As Freeman will take a seat with Lewis Jean checking back in. 8:20 to go. Barnes looking to drive the entire way, tries to leave it up well short, and Robinson will find Mendez. Chris Mendez back into the game, the junior transfer out of Merrimack College up in Andover, Mass. As Mendez calling out directions, up top for Robinson. Robinson working on Powers, finds Akani. He'll take a three, too strong. Powers the rebound ahead for McGrath. McGrath running 2-on-4. He'll take it the entire way, throws it up too strong. Now Mendez has numbers if he wants him, but he once again backs it down. 7:35 to go in regulation. UMass Dartmouth has led comfortably ever since a 17-0 run gave them a 21-4 lead. It's controlled up top by Obiora. Couple players in motion. Atcam the three from dead on, and he drains it. And again, Atcam and Nick Portland, two of the very talented freshmen on this team. So we'll see Mike Arnault, the lone Beacon senior yet to have played in this game, head to the scorer's table. Powers loses the dribble. Robinson for Mendez. Mendez right back for Robinson, the left-hand finish. He's such a productive scorer. Now it's Barnes ahead for Powers, looking to go through three players. Can't get the finish. Laid it up a little too short. And the Corsairs have a chance to push the lead back out to 40. As Awuzie will join Arnault on the scorer's table. Two of the Beacon's 5 seniors to be honored on Saturday. Powers tries to strip Atcam of the ball. Instead, he's going to be called for the reach-in. 15 foul on the Beacons. 6:31 to go. It's going to be Allen, Arnault, and Ezawuzie checking in after this media timeout, our second to last one of the evening.
Paris changed my life, and I got there through UMass. Those very specific seminal moments in Paris, the subway. A man in a tuxedo walked in, and a woman in a long gown. And it was stunning. It all hit me. It was like a lightning bolt. There was this world of beauty and style that I wanted to be a part of. That was the beginning of the journey. And that all came through the University of Massachusetts. And that was really a key moment for me. That's one of those moments you never forget.
.6:31 to go in regulation. Inbounds looking for Obiora over a pair of Beacons, and Obiora adds 2 more points to the lead. Arnault, Allen, Ezawuzie, McGrath, and Cesar, 3 of the Beacons' 5 seniors out there right now. Mike Arnault does not see much playing time, as there's a nice finish by Neil Cesar. Arnault just into the game, the senior out of Boston, Mass, attended Brighton High School. Just his 9th appearance, has played in 48 minutes as a senior, his first year with the Beacons. 1 point, 10 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, and 1 block. Tom Keyes back into the game for the Corsairs. Over to Mendez, out there with Akani, Obiora, and Atcam. Big block from Ezawuzie. Ball's loose, and it's flipped up by a Corsair into the hands of Arnault as Mendez tried to avoid the shot clock violation, but was well off the mark. McGrath looking to drive through traffic, draws contact, but it's a charge. And that's a nice play there by Abi Akani to take the contact in a big blowout, as we'll see Flores Gonzalez check in. He'll replace McGrath. The Beacons with just 2 regulars out there at this point. 5:26 to go, 15 foul on the Beacons. Obiora over Cesar, ball's loose, tapped around. Allen the rebound against Akani. Allen looking to run. Quadri all the way to the free throw line, leaves it for Ezewuzi. One dribble, gets a player up, and he's called for the travel before the layup. Jim is dead silent at this point, as this game has really not been in any kind of question since the opening 10 minutes. It's Mendez over to Keys. Keys looking for the backdoor cut. At Cam a little short, and Cesar the rebound. Allen near side for Flores Gonzalez, looking to drive the whole way, and he's bailed out there with a foul on Obiora. He had 3 players around him, all looking for the swat. See Eddie Porro, a junior guard out of Boston, Mass, check in at the next whistle. The Corsair attended Boston Latin High School, looking for his 10th appearance of the season, has played in just 43 minutes. Porro, one of a number of Corsairs from Boston. Flores Gonzalez gets the first to fall. Porro to replace Atcam. For Flores Gonzalez, that's 21st collegiate point. Knocks down both free throws, now 6 of 9 on the year. Flores Gonzalez putting some pressure on Mendez as he continues to badger him, nearly gets the steal there. Mendez into the paint, wide open Keys, near side for Akani, working on Arnaud. Akani will take the 3, front rim no good, rebound loose, picked up by Porro, split the double team, but lost it to Ezewuzi. Ezewuzi nearly loses the dribble, hard jump stop, too strong, but it falls off the front of the rim. So that one held on to the rim for a while before dropping for Ezewuzi, the senior out of Malden. Beacons double team in the backcourt, and Mendez out ahead looking for Obiora, stolen away by Ezewuzi. Ezewuzi ahead for Arnaud, flips it up, no good, gets his own rebound. The second effort in Mike Arnaud, the points. As Mike Arnaud picks up his first basket of his collegiate career right there. Had just 1 point on the season, and with the putback up to 3. Cesar picks the pocket of Mendez, leaves it for Allen. Allen the lay-in, and the Beacons have cut it to 30. I know that these minutes don't really mean much to the starters, but the Beacons backups and Allen doing a nice job of getting some momentum back. And for Arnaud, these minutes mean everything for the world. These guys on the end of the bench, they're practicing every day. They're putting in the long hours, but they're not necessarily getting to see the same kind of playing time. So it's great to see them come up with some big plays. Flores Gonzalez looking to leave it off for Ezewuzi. Ezewuzi can't finish. The rebound into the hands of Akani as the referees are letting a little bit more physicality go at this point. Porro the other way, throws it off the glass too strong. Obiora too strong as well, and Allen the rebound as Iser Barnes will check in shortly. Allen over Mendez, the floater falls, and the deficit's as small as it's been in about 10 minutes at 80-52. Beacons have done a better job defensively. They gave up 56 in the first half. Just 24 here in the second. Into the corner. Keys looking for the 3. No good. And Arnaud can't pull down the rebound. Akani up top. Mendez the 3 from downtown. And now we've got a foul on a Corsair as Ezewuzi took a hard tumble. See 3 players check in for the Corsairs. But first we've got our final media timeout. UMass Dartmouth leads 80-52 with 2:18 to play.
The University of Massachusetts Boston. The University of Massachusetts Boston, with its scenic oceanfront campus, easily accessible to downtown Boston, is recognized as a model of excellence for urban public universities. 16 NCAA Division III sports are part of the more than 100 student organizations that create an engaging campus life in America's biggest and best college town, UMass Boston. Boston's urban public research university for the 21st century.
New look group for UMass Dartmouth is Mendez and Poro will stay out there, but they're joined by Brandon Bousquet, the sophomore center out of Sutton, Mass. Tanner Bouchard, the freshman guard out of Kingston, Mass. And Keanu Baltazar, one of my favorite names on this Corsairs roster, the sophomore out of Dighton. Arnaud, kick out for Flores Gonzalez, way off the mark. Ezewuzi fought for the rebound, and it's off him and out of bounds. One last substitution. Mendez will check out, and Matthew Sewell will check in. Matthew Sewell, freshman guard out of Sutton, Mass. He's appearing in just his 6th game, 19 career minutes. Sewell up top, working against Barnes. Over for Baltazar. Leaving it off for Poro. Poro tries to find a teammate, has his pass knocked away. Sewell from the corner, too strong. And the rebound into the hands of Cesar. Corsairs were on pace for about 95 after the first half, but been ice cold the last couple minutes. Going to finish closer to 85. Ezewuzi all the way to the hoop, can't finish. Arnaud the rebound amongst 3 players. Kicks it out looking for Flores Gonzalez. Stolen away there by Bouchard. Bouchard tried to take it the whole way, flips it up, no good. And we're going to get a foul over the back there as Ezewuzi was battling Brandon Bousquet. One last substitution checking in. It's David Pierre, the Hyde Park native. As it'll be Baltazar checking out. Pierre played at New Mission High School. He's played in just 2 games this season, 3 total minutes. Flores Gonzalez, the 6-footer, way too strong. Poro looking out ahead as he gets around Barnes. Poro looking to go the entire way. Great pass. Wide open Pierre looking for the 3 from the wing. Front rim no good. The Corsairs bench players have been ice cold coming off the bench. Poro up top finds Bouchard. Near side for Soul. Soul being guarded by Barnes under a minute to play. 19 on the shot clock. Double team comes. Poro the 3 contested by Cesar. The rebound falls to Flores Gonzalez. Corsairs jumping off the bench every single time there's a bench player taking a shot as Flores Gonzalez can't get the finish. Draws the foul and will head to the line for 2. UMass Dartmouth should have 1 more offensive possession with 41.1 seconds left of the clock. Flores Gonzalez, his 2nd trip to the line, knocks the first down. One of the final stats and highlights for you after this one. As the Corsairs closing in on a sweep of the Beacons here in Boston. Ezewuzi called for the foul there, trying to go after the offensive board. 6th on the Beacons, as now the Beacons will show some full court pressure. Soul across for Poro. Up ahead for Pierre. Pierre will give it off for Soul. Near side, Bouchard thought about the 3, got Arnaud up. Now it's Soul once again. 10-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Poro looking for the 3, rattles in and out. As that one was halfway down, and now the Beacons have 17 seconds remaining. One last shot. Barnes will take it, the 3, drains it. And then a foul on Ezewuzi running through Bouchard afterwards. As Barnes cuts the deficit to 24. It was as many as 42. And with that being the 17th foul, the Corsairs will shoot free throws. 1-1 here as the referees just following protocol. Tanner Bouchard, 9 points in his freshman season. Freshman out of Kingston, Mass, attended Silver Lake High School. 4 for 4 from the free throw line. As his first is true, pushing the lead back out to 25. Bouchard a couple more dribbles. 10.4 seconds remain in this one. As he knocks down both. Arnaud into Barnes. And the Beacons have 6. Barnes will settle for a deep 3. Long rebound for Flores Gonzalez. Flores Gonzalez from the free throw line, no good. Poro the rebound, and that'll do it. UMass Dartmouth, a 17-0 run early to blow this game open. They led by as many as 42, and they take home an 82-56 win here in Boston. We'll take a commercial break, and then we'll have the final stats and highlights for you here from Boston as the Corsairs, the big winner to move to 7-6 in conference play, 14-10 overall. UMass Boston drops to 6-17, 2-11 in the conference.
Imagine yourself at one of fewer than 300 prestigious research universities in the country, located on a peninsula overlooking the Boston Harbor, just minutes from downtown Boston. Imagine what it would be like to be a student here.
I imagine myself succeeding in the business world.
I imagine taking advantage of all the clinical opportunities in Boston.
Want to go into the police force for a little bit and ultimately end up either working for the Department of Homeland Security or the Department of ICE.
I imagine studying biology, working hand in hand with the professor.
There are many reasons students are attracted to UMass Boston. Just imagine the opportunity to participate in research, live and learn in Boston, and to experience true diversity.
Our researchers have expanded the research enterprise admirably over the last decade. They have engaged in important environmental stewardship. They are at the frontiers of the life sciences and public health.
Being in Boston is a huge advantage, not just to someone like me who's a researcher, but actually to our students.
I started working for Dr. McCoska since my sophomore year, my ending sophomore year, and now I'm going to my senior year, so it's been a very nice journey.
School for the Environment is becoming really one of the premier, or if not the premier, coastal environmental sciences programs in the country. The natural laboratory is 5 minutes away for us. The undergraduates and the graduate students can jump on the T or walk out the door or drive 5 minutes and grab sediment samples and vegetation and talk to watershed associations. It's really a wonderful opportunity for our students here with this location.
UMass Boston shares the peninsula with the Edward M. Kennedy Institute for the United States Senate and the John F. Kennedy Library and Museum. Just imagine an internship with one of these organizations or a Fortune 500 company.
There's no location like UMass Boston.
It's so close to the Innovation District, the 4-Point Channel. You can just hop on the red line and get there.
I like the fact that Boston is near the water.
I was a legislative intern for Senator Elizabeth Warren in Washington, D.C. And I was there, in the Senate. It made me feel good about myself. It made me feel like I could do so much more. There's so much more out there and ahead of me.
After my internship at Ernst & Young this past summer, I was offered a full-time position to join their risk advisory practice, where I'll be doing part-time security consulting and part-time risk advisory consulting. And I never would have had this opportunity had it not been for UMass Boston.
Imagine what it will be like to interact with students from 150 countries.
You meet people from everywhere. That's the best thing about the school.
Here there's a lot of international students, so it's really cool to meet people from different countries, different parts of the world.
We also have students here at UMass Boston who come to us from Texas, from Alabama, from Georgia, from California. And I often ask them, what brings you here? And it's always Boston. And then when they come here, they realize UMass Boston.
I decided to come to UMass Boston from the West Coast because, look at it. You've got the ocean, it's beautiful. I'm getting a really great education at great value. I couldn't be happier to be here.
This is what the world looks like. It's here at UMass Boston.
And now, imagine doing all of this at a campus that is buzzing with more than 100 clubs and organizations, 18 NCAA athletic teams, and concerts and films galore. Whether you're interested in studying abroad or doing service work over alternative spring break, we have something for everyone.
Starting my first semester here, I was assistant coordinator of Casa Latina. Second semester, I was promoted to coordinate my own center, the Student Wellness Center.
Being on the track and field team here is the greatest decisions I've made besides coming to UMass Boston.
Paris changed my life, and I got there through UMass. Those very specific seminal moments in Paris, the subway. A man in a tuxedo walked in, and a woman in a long gown. And it was stunning. It all hit me. It was like a lightning bolt. There was this world of beauty and style that I wanted to be a part of. That was the beginning of the journey. And that all came through the University of Massachusetts. And that was really a key moment for me. It's one of those moments you never forget.
And welcome back to the Clark Athletic Center Gymnasium. The cheerleaders still dotting the floor here as the Beacons fell 82-56. See that first half as the Beacons actually outscored the Corsairs in the second, 48-19. The Corsairs did almost all of their damage in that first half. They stretched it out a bit further in the second half to 40+. The Beacons cut it to as few as 25. As the final score, a 26-point advantage. We'll take a look right now at the team statistics as UMass Dartmouth ended up shooting 40% for the game. They shot 47% of that first half, 34% in the second half. The Beacons, 30% for the contest. UMass Dartmouth, 8 of 24 from distance. The Beacons, 3 of 11. The Corsairs, 14 of 18 from the free throw line. The Beacons, 11 of 18. UMass Dartmouth holding the edge in rebounds, assists, and turnovers. The Corsairs with a big advantage in points off turnovers and second chance points as the Corsairs really had no problems in this one. We'll take a look at the team statistics, or the team leaders, in just a second. First, we'll take a look ahead at this moment as UMass Boston will have one game left in the regular season. That'll be this Saturday. The Beacons host Eastern Connecticut State at 3 p.m. game. We'll have the Senior Day ceremony for you starting at 2:45. And then next Tuesday, the Beacons will head to Eastern Connecticut State, who won the regular season title. So the Beacons will play the Warriors back-to-back games, once in Boston, then down in Willimantic, Connecticut. For the Corsairs, with their win, they move to 7-6 in conference play. They'll have a big game on Saturday against Southern Maine for their Senior Day game. A win for the Corsairs could push them all the way up to 3rd in the conference. At worst, they would end up 5th. As UMass Dartmouth starting to put things together right now, up to 14-10 in the conference. As really the top 6 in the conference, you look 17 wins for Eastern, well, coming into the day, 16 wins for Eastern, 14 for Southern Maine, 14 for Westcon, 15 for Plymouth, 13 each for Keene and Dartmouth. Not a lot separating those 6 teams, although Eastern Connecticut State, the only team that is regionally ranked. We'll take a look right now at the team leaders. Jordan Resendez held below 20 points for the second time all season, but still made a big impact as he finished with 19, 15 points from John Robinson, Powers with 15, McGrath with 10, just 2 in the second half. Iser Barnes was hustling all over the floor, a team-high 7 rebounds. Nick Portalance finishing with a double-double. He had that in the first half, finished with 13 and 12. As the Beacons did not get the balance they were looking for, 15 from Powers, 10 from McGrath, 8 from Allen. Iser Barnes, the only other player with more than 4, as he finished with 7. Take a look right now at our production crew, who most of them were here for both contests. My name is Seth Dorensky, the producer and play-by-play guy. Elizabeth Clavin and Jose Pena, your directors. Rachel Maslak on replay. Chris Fowler, Sam Gitcher, Michaela Chianco, Gabriel Gomes Pereira, and Alyssa DePippo, your camera operators, as the Beacons fall 82-56. We'll be back Saturday with the final doubleheader of this Beacons